Hello everyone and welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the view options along with some amazing tools in Excel. Now, in this lecture, we are going to talk about a feature in Excel that enables us to autocomplete a list in a row or a column by simply dragging it using our cursor, and the name of that feature is Fill Handle. Now, let's talk about that feature in detail. So in an active cell of the Excel worksheet, the fill handle is a small box located at the bottom right hand corner, and when you hover over it, you should be able to see your cursor icon as a skinny black cross with no arrows. Alright? So fill handle in Excel is a feature to extend and fill several numbers, dates, or even text to other cells. It is a versatile tool that autocompletes various entries and transforms the data. It is an inbuilt Excel feature that is enabled by default and therefore does not involve any manual procedure to implement it. Now let's jump into our Excel application and understand more about this feature. So here we are in an Excel workbook named as Sales Record. And in this workbook, I have already added some data in advance just to show you how this fill handle feature can help us in various situations. Alright? Now, first of all, the fill handle allows us to quickly copy the data. Let's have a look how. So I'm going to click on this cell A4 and hold my fill handle at the bottom right hand corner of this cell and then drag it down to row number 20. And there you go. What it has actually done is copied the data, right? Now the fill handle can do some slightly clever things as well. So I'm going to click on the cell B4 where I have got my order ID, right? And let's see what happens when I drag my fill handle. Now what has actually happened here is the fill handle has given us a series of the order ID where we have a combination of some text and some numbers, and it automatically adds 1 to the numbers. Well, that is interesting, isn't it? Now let's see what happens with our dates. So I am going to click on this cell C4. Now this time, instead of dragging our fill handle, I am going to try a shortcut. Yes, you heard it right. We are going to use a shortcut now. So instead of dragging, I am going to double click my fill handle. And wow, it worked. So just 2 clicks. So how good was that? Now again, we have got that series with adding 1 to each date, right? Isn't this feature really interesting? Now let's see what happens with the days of the week. So I'm going to click on the cell D4 here and again going to come to my fill handle and then double click. Well, that was clever, right? Fill handle has automatically given us the series of the days of the week. And not only with the days of the week, but it will work with the months of the year as well. Now we have used fill handle with each of these cells individually so that you can see how the things actually work. But to show you how quick this could have been, I am going to undo those last 3 changes. So I am going to go to my quick access toolbar and undo my last 3 actions. And now I am going to select all 3 of these cells from B4 to D4 and then double click my fill handle. Here you can see that you don't even have to use the fill handle one at a time. You can select the cells together and our fill handle will do its job. It's really that quick and it will save you a lot of time when you are working in a really large Excel worksheet. Now let's use fill handle when we have a numeric data. So I'm going to click on this cell E4 and let's see what happens when we double click the fill handle. And there you go. It automatically copied the numeric data. So that's really interesting, right? With dates, we get a series, but with numbers, we automatically get a copy, right? Now, in case when we don't want the copy of numeric data, but a series, so no need to worry, because Excel does actually give us options. Whenever we use the fill handle, we'll see a little icon shown up at the bottom. Have a look. And if we take our cursor over it, we will see it is called autofill options. Now I am going to click on the drop down arrow and you will see here that by default it has done a copy, but we do have the option to do a fill series. So let's see what happens when I click on this fill series. And well, that's brilliant, isn't it? Now let's see what would happen with our options for our dates. So I'm going to come back to the dates here, click on the cell C4, go to my fill handle and drag it down to the row number 20. And now let's have a look at the autofill options. And now have a look. Excel has already chosen the fill series. But in case I don't want the fill series and want to copy the cells, so I can hit on copy cells and here we go. The fill handle has copied the data. So we have quite a rich selection of options here, right? Now let's look at a more complex situation. So here I have the first and the last name of some clients, and now let me select all these cells, come to my fill handle, double click and then see what happens. Cool. So what it has actually done is copied the whole group down, right? It's really that quick. So we don't need to type these names again and again. We can simply use our fill handle to get it done. Now we are going to talk about one really exciting feature that was added in 2013. So this feature will only be available to those who are working on Excel 2013 onwards edition. Alright? So after using our fill handle feature, when we look at the autofill options, we have an inbuilt feature called flash fill, which is even more sophisticated pattern matcher. So if you have a look here at the cell H4, we have an email address of the client named Maxime, right? This email address is made up of his first name, a dot, his last name, and then the company name following .com. Now if I go to my fill handle and double click, what it has actually done is copied the email address, right? But now if I come to my autofill options, we can see that there is an option to do a flash fill, right? Let's click on this flash fill and see what happens. Flash fill spots the pattern and automatically creates addresses for all my clients. Wasn't that really quick? So that's all about the fill handle feature in Excel. Now it's your chance to give it a go. Get your hands in there and start looking for fill handle and customize your experience. So that's all for this lecture. I'm going to end it here and see you in the next one. Thank you.